Indeed, it is time for the 32, and we're in Enfield today for it. Anna O'Neill, our reporter, is already there. Morning, Anna.
Yep. Morning to you, Salma. From a very busy Edmonton, it is the school run hour. So literally so many people out and about, so many cars. It's a very busy part of town. 4th Street is where I'm at. And I've been visiting a place that I've never been to before in Edmonton. Never heard of this place, and I met a wonderful lady called Margaret there. Now, she's not speaking to me live because she's doing her civic duty. She's been called away on jury service. But I did speak to her last week from here and have a listen to what a lovely lady she is. I'm here in a place that I've never visited before. It's called Community House in Edmonton, 4th Street, Edmonton. I didn't even know anything about it till very recently. You can probably hear people coming in and out in the background. That's because it is a very well-used community space. But I'm here to see one woman, and her name is Margaret Thorley.
Yes.
And she is, well, she's got many hats, but she describes herself on her website as mumpreneur. She is a facilitator of all kinds of people, helping people get funding. Margaret, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for coming to see me, Anne. It's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this interview. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I've been looking forward to it too. Margaret, tell me about you, because you are definitely a person that is well known in this area, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And it was exciting when I saw your email. I was like, ooh, this sounds good. Respond very quickly. Yeah, I've been running my own business in Enfield for the last 11 years. Where you are, the community house, they've been absolutely excellent and feel themselves supporting small charities, small businesses and everything. And they've given us the office for free. Now, how I got about to start my own business is I faced redundancy back when they had the first recession.
Yeah.
You know, so I faced redundancy and I thought, right, nah, that's it. I've had enough of that. And I started my business working with lone parents, single fathers, and 50-plus women into business, into employment.
So when you say it's your own business, is it a charity? Is it a social enterprise? What is it that you do?
We're full charity. We're a full charity, and what we do is we support and empower and motivate single parents into employment, into business. We secure funding. It's so amazing. I would never, when I faced redundancy and I thought I'm going to work for myself, I'm like, wow, where am I going to get the money from? Because that's one of the stumbling blocks. A lot of people came in. And I started to apply for funding application form, never written one. And I got my first one. And this is where I kind of started off 13 years later, writing funding. Enfield's been amazing. Haringey, we used to be across Barrow working.
It's just across the way here.
Yeah, so we used to do Haringey and everything like that. So this is what brought us to where we are today.
So what's really interesting is you've been most recently working with single dads, haven't you?
Yes.
And just tell me, because I know you do a lot of, so you've just said over 50, 50 plus people, single mums. But what's the focus on single dads then, and why? What do you do for them, and why have you singled them out?
The reason I singled them out, one of the things that really got me to actually start the organisation, it was for single father overall. And the reason being is I used to work for an organisation as a business coordinator mentor. And I remember I got a call and I went to one of our partners, and I was speaking to this single father that morning. He was so anxious because, one, he's just going to drop his daughter to school and he's going to gas and electric. And he was really panicking. So we were able to fundraise and gave him some money for that day to make sure he's okay. And that kind of spurred me on to start. But what made me focus more within the last 2 years to single fathers is during the COVID, the lockdown. We find that a lot of single fathers were really struggling. And I was running a business startup, and we as the women, we were all talking, and the men weren't talking. I thought, right, guys, you need to talk. So I said, nobody's moving. Ladies, sign off, but men, you're staying. And everybody like, and that kind of got me to focus working with men, because at that time, what I find that they find that little network they had, that was gone. They felt there was no support or help. out there for them. And a lot of them, they were facing anxieties in having to lose their jobs, not working. So after we've done that and lockdown is lifted up, I then said, right, I need to do something for a single father and just for men to come in and get the support they need. And that's how we started.
Wow. And, were you inspired by kind of seeing the fact that some fathers are not in their children's lives, are they? And this can have a massive detrimental effect on the children and on society, let's face it. Is that part of the reason that you do what you do?
Yes, that's part of the reason we do what we're doing, because also what we want to do, I've come to the understanding we're going to have fathers that don't want to be part of their children's life. And we're going to have fathers that said, you know what, I want to be part of my children's life, and I want to shed a light to the work for these amazing fathers are doing within the community, so they'll be able to get the right support that they needed. So for me, my focus was to give that support, the fathers that say, I want to be in my children's life. I want to organize myself. I want to start again. So yes.
There must be a reason, though, why you... What was it, Margaret, inside? There must be a personal reason for that. What is it? Tell me. Come on, there must be.
Well, one of the things, I'm a single parent as well, so I kind of understand, the struggle. Okay.
Because people might say, well, then why don't you focus on single mums? Because obviously you've been one yourself.
Yeah, to be honest, most of our workshop used to be just completely run with single mothers, full of women. We used to have men, but then as time progressed, we kind of lost them and everything. So there are so many facilities for single mothers and everything. There is not that much for single fathers to say, this is for us. It's a group of men coming together, be trained, and to be inspired and to be motivated.
So what have your single fathers gone on to do then? How have they been successful in the world?
Oh, fantastic. We ran a workshop where the Big Lottery Award for All. They funded us and everything. I never thought they would have. So what we then do is run a business startup just for men in the group and everything. For example, I'll tell you a couple of stories. One of the guys that came in, quite a few of them actually, when they came in, they have got business ideas already, but they didn't know how to put it all together. One of the main things, the school runs, they've got the children and everything on a full-time basis, like they're full carers for the children. And the budgeting, the financial side of it and everything. So what I did with 2 or 3 of the single fathers, one of them specifically, when he came, he had a lovely landscape kind of business. By then, he was doing all right, on his own. But then when the children came along for him to look after full time, the business went out the window because he needed to find accommodation suitable enough for him and his 2 boys. And obviously the benefits wasn't enough. So what we then do when he was throughout the business startup is take him through the journey and get him to prioritize. And one of the things we did was to put in place for him how he can do all the school runs and all the school activities, how to do the budget, and for him to go on and start running his own business and upscale the business. And I'm happy to say he went on last year to employ 2 people to do with his landscape. Amazing. Through the business coaching and through the mentoring.
Well done you. Well done him, but well done you as well.
Yes.
Oh, it's so lovely. Do you think there's a particular kind of feeling in this bit of Enfield where I can see people coming in and out of this community house all morning here, but do you think there's a particular strength in this community?
Oh, most definitely. Like the community house here is one of the hub for us. The facilities, you can see there's so many people coming and going. There's so many. And the great thing about it gives us the opportunity for small charity business like us, for us to grow and to be able to work with our client group on a grass level. So yes, definitely.
Oh, Margaret, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. You are one of our 32 people in Enfield. Love it. Thank you, Margaret. Award-winning Margaret Thorley, everyone.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. You did the research one. We actually did, because we got the UK Business Innovation Award
I love this way you're saying we, but really it's you.
Yes. Give the glory to God. But yeah, and it was so amazing. We got picked up. Somebody nominated us because of the work we were doing with the single father. Yeah. And I think it was so unusual. So yes, thank you. Yeah, we did.
There you go. That was Anna O'Neill there. And what joy, what absolute joy talking to Margaret. I feel the smile on my face is huge.